Hey guys. All right. So we are almost through with the book, What Color is My World? The Lost History of African American Inventors. I got so excited about finishing this book. I actually had to move my area. I was at my desk. Now I'm on the floor next to a wall, and my dog Banks. My apartment doesn't let me have a real dog, so this is what I got. But he's good company, aren't you, Banks? So I wanted to move over here just because we worked so hard learning about all these different African American inventors that I really wanted to take some time to really just admire our work. So far we've learned about let me move this guy. I'm gonna leave him up when I'm reading. But we've already learned about Dr. Henry T. Sampson, who invented the gamma electric cell. We've learned about Granville T. Woods, who invented the induction telegraph, who we have to thank for the cell phones today. Thank you, sir. My main man, one of my favorite dudes, Louis Latimer, who invented the carbon filament in light bulbs. Dr. Mark Dean, who invented home and office computers. Dr. Valerie L. Thomas, who invented 3D imaging. James E. West, who invented the compact microphone, who allows me to record this video. Thank you, sir. Joseph Lee, who invented the bread making machine. Lloyd A. Hall, who invented food preservation or improved it. George Crumb, who invented the amazing potato chip. Thank you, sir. Every time I'm hungry, I thank you. We have learned about Fred Jones, who invented the portable refrigerator units. Dr. Percy Julian, who invented cortisone or pain relieving medicine. Dr. Charles Drew, who invented blood banks. People like now, like today, like currently, because they're sick, to have their lives to thank. My family has their lives to thank because of this man, because they've gotten blood transfusions, meaning they had to go and they had to get blood from a blood bank and put into their body because the blood they were making at that time wasn't healthy enough. So thank you for me and my family members. Dr. Charles Drew. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams came up with the open heart surgery and figured out a way to do it safely, save many lives. Again, thank you to you. Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light. Thank you. John Lee Love invented the handheld pencil sharpener as a teacher and a former student. Thank you. Alfred L. Creel invented the ice cream scoop. My belly thanks you for that as well. And my wrist, so I'm not working so hard. Lonnie Johnson invented the Super Soaker. All my childhood memories, half of them involve a Super Soaker. I was obsessed with them, so thank you. And we have one more person we're going to learn about today. I got so excited about this person. I said I can't wait until the end of the book. I have to show you now. So the last person we're going to learn about is named Alice Parker. She invented central heating using natural gas, and this allowed heating to kind of move just from fireplaces to be able to be used in your cities, so people weren't getting too cold, and it allowed individual rooms to get heated compared to just kind of a main like living room, and then everyone just had to corral in the living room and sometimes sleep in that one main room. It allowed individual rooms to get heated. So if you have heat in individual rooms in your place right now, thank her, because she was someone who really allowed us to have heating in individual rooms. I'm going to give you a minute to write her down. Okay, I'm going to tape these guys up so we can admire all of the hard work that we've done. Is this too high? No. But when I tell you, I love this book, guys. I really, really do. I hope you've been enjoying it. I am amazed just because, one, this is kind of a simpler, it's a picture book in a sense. There's actually a chapter book version of this, but I love this visual version. And we're going to explore it a little bit more today too. But like, think about how simple this book is, how comfortable it is to read, how silly it is to read. But we've learned about so many people. We learned so many things. So my last question that I have about this book is, what is going on with this Mittal guy? What is going on with Mr. Mittal? I have to figure this out. So we're going to go on to read chapter 6. I will probably say, even though the other chapters made me hungry, let me go. Here's one. Even though the other chapters made me hungry, this chapter is my favorite. I'll probably say it is definitely my favorite. I'm going to put you out. Here's fine. Okay. Ella and I were sitting on the front porch, soaking wet, when Mama pulled up to the curb. This crazy list had me driving all over town, she said as she got out the car. I had to go to 6 different stores. It's okay, Mama, Ella said. Mama looked at Ella, then looked at me. Why are you two soaking wet? What broke? Nothing broke, I said. Mr. Mittal squirted us with a super soaker. Did you know that a black nuclear engineer named Lonnie Johnson invented the super soaker? Or that a black woman named Alice Parker invented a heating system that can be controlled to heat individual rooms, Ella said. Thank you, Alice Parker. Though the Romans first introduced central heating in 100 CE. That was a long time ago. That's right, Ella nodded. Tell her about John Lee Love. Let me guess, Mama said. Was he black? Ella and I nodded. There's more, Ella said. Lots more. Our whole house is like a museum of all these cool discoveries by black scientists. Only it's stuff we use every day. How did you learn all of this? Did you come across old magazine articles while you were cleaning? Mr. Mittal told us. He knows all about that sort of stuff. Mama stared at both of us for a moment. Where is Mr. Mittal? Mama asked. Inside, Ella and I said at once. We followed Mama inside, but when we went in, Mr. Mittal was nowhere to be found. We called his name. Mr. Mittal? Mr. Mittal? Searched the house and even looked in the backyard. His tools were gone. His ice chest was gone. It was as if he's never been there. Spooky, guys. That's kind of spooky, Ella said. I just said that. I forgot you said that. Well, excuse me. Well, he did tell me he could only work today. That's why he suggested I have you two help out. He suggested we come here today? I said. Mama nodded. Herbie, come here. Ella was sitting on the stairs beside my journal. Across the cardboard cover, which before just said composition, someone, Mr. Mittal, had printed, "What color is my world?" That sounds so familiar. I wonder where we've heard, I don't know where I've heard that phrase before, what color is my world? I wish, I don't know. It just sounds familiar. Does it sound familiar to you? I don't know where I could have heard that word, that question before. What color is my world? I have no idea where I could have heard that before. That's interesting that it shows up on his notebook, but I wonder where we heard that before. I don't know. It just sounds, it'll click eventually. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Cool, said Ella. I liked it too. But I kept thinking about Mr. Mittal, about his name. Something about his name. I pulled out my cell phone, typed in a name, and did a search. An article came up with a photo. I stared. Ella, look at this. I held up the phone. Her mouth dropped open too. What the heck? What are they looking at? Roger Edward Mittal. R.E. Mittal, spelled backwards, is Vladimir, Ella said softly. And we both stared at the photo of Louis Latimer on my phone. Only the photo was also of Mr. Mittal. I'm gonna take a pause. Wait. Hold on. I gotta read this again. There's no way. Okay. Roger Edward Mittal. R.E. Mittal. Spelled backwards is Vladimir, Ella said softly. Guys? Are you telling me? This entire time I'm ripping on this man. This entire time I thought he was crazy. I thought he was going out of his mind. This is Louis Latimer that we're talking about. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Because when I tell you my mom, y'all know how much I love Louis Latimer. I turned on my lights today just because I was thinking about him. I love Louis Latimer for giving us the light bulbs that we can use today. When I tell you, hold on. Okay. I gotta move myself. Okay, this is a picture of Mr. Mittal, right? You see it? You see his face. You see it. Okay. This is an article in here, or not an article, I apologize. A biography of Louis Latimer. Let me see if I can position this. Do y'all see the resemblance? Like, do you see it? Guys, you telling me all of these African American inventors we learned from one of the best inventors? I am honored. I am honored to have learned from one of the greatest inventors. I gotta keep reading because there's still a few sentences left, but I've been learning from Louis Latimer this entire time. I thought he was just a crazy handyman. I love this book so much. So much. Okay, I gotta finish up. But Louis Latimer? That is so cool. Banks. You get me, right? This is insane. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Whew. I'm back. Okay, Ella said, and her voice suddenly very scientific. There has to be an explanation. He's like some great-great-great-grandson or something. Yeah, that's probably it. We looked at each other and knew that neither of us believed that, even though there was no way we could believe anything else. Could we? And that is What Color Is My World? The Lost History of African American Inventors. And we learned from who we thought was a handyman, but actually was one of the greatest African American inventors to live, because he changed our lives more than anybody. And I wanted to show you something too, because again, I was flipping out. I'm still flipping out, and I've read this book a few times. I'm still flipping out. Okay, so this is the man's name, right? Roger Edward Mittal. Y'all see it? Roger Edward Mittal. Now, if you shorten it, it becomes R.E. Mittal, right? R-E-M-I-T-L-A-L. If you flip this around, look. L-A-T-I-M-E-R. It fits perfectly. I'm floored. I am floored. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause for a moment just to collect myself again. And then what I want us to do is I want us to actually go through some of the notes that Ella and Herbie took. Because remember, they had a composition book that, in a sense, became this book, honestly, called What Color Is My World? And what they did inside the book, make sure I can find this kind of a random page here. You see the main text that I read, but if you open these little flaps, you can actually see the notes that the kids took. Some of them are more lengthy. Some of them are just kind of quick little blurbs. So I'm going to take a moment to get myself together, and then we are going to read some of their notes.